WFBI team now, a former Baton Rouge City Constable arrested on domestic violence charges, is now one of the newest recruits on the Baton Rouge police force.
Baton Rouge police confirmed Colby Burns started full-time this week with the department, leaving his alleged victim and her attorney stunned. Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, spoke to them and has reaction from the district attorney's office about what happened to Burns' charges. Chris.
Good evening, Liz and Greg. It's well documented that Colby Burns was arrested for domestic violence with child endangerment back in 2021. But records pertaining to that arrest have seemingly vanished from the courthouse, which has left the victim and her lawyer wondering what happened, since they say they were never contacted about anything. For the past 6 years, Colby Burns has worked at the Baton Rouge City Constable's office. His Louisiana peace officer report shows he's completed all of his trainings and is still listed as an employee at the constable's office. But the WAFBI team confirmed he quit that job recently and is now patrolling the streets of Baton Rouge as one of the city's newest officers.
Is this a good look to hire somebody like this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're looking to have trust in people who we entrust with an infinite amount of power, right? But this sends the wrong message.
In 2021, Burns was arrested for domestic abuse battery with child endangerment. That arrest was made by the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office after deputies responded to a home on a domestic violence call. Ryan Thompson is representing the woman Burns allegedly battered.
The allegation is that there was a domestic abuse allegation.
Despite the arrest of Burns, online court records show absolutely nothing when his name is searched. Thompson is concerned because he says his client was never consulted following Burns' arrest about the case.
No one from the prosecutor's office contacted my client to ask her what she thought about whether or not the case should proceed criminally.
The WAFBI team reached out to District Attorney Hiller Moore's office about Burns' charges that seemingly vanished and whether Burns will be put on a list that the DA's office must disclose to defendants. Moore typically does interviews with the news media, but was limited in what he could say pertaining to this case, issuing the following statement only. We are not in possession of any records subject to public access and cannot provide any further comment at this time.
I don't want to agree that he did something to be deserving of an expungement of an arrest. No one's saying anything, and that's what's really concerning for us. Was this just expunged? Did they decide not to prosecute?
It's quite possible the case was expunged if Burns entered into a pretrial diversion program. But by law, the DA's office cannot confirm if that happened. Thompson is now questioning whether BRPD was even aware of Burns' prior issues and believes this hire raises questions about the police department's hiring practices.
It is very concerning to me. The appearance is that if one wears a badge, that they're above the law, that they get some type of special treatment, that they get a different level of due process. And that's not what this is about.
The female in this case issued the following statement, quote, "It should never be this easy for a violent incident involving a sworn officer to be buried. It should never be this difficult for a victim to access the truth. And it should never be acceptable for a police department to quietly absorb someone with a known history of domestic violence and child endangerment." We asked if Baton Rouge police, if the administrators there were aware of Burns' prior arrest and who authorized his hiring. We're awaiting a response. For the WAFBI team, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Greg, Liz.
That silence was me shaking my head, man. I'm Trailhand Bill, disgusted and exhausted, exasperated with America's government and American law enforcement, which is one and the same. It is 11:51, guys. I am far from Miami today. Where I am, I will keep to myself, but looks like we might get some rain. And I hope your day is going better than mine after watching that video, or you might feel very similar. It doesn't take away from the beauty that God has blessed us with, but two things can be true. I usually be like, you'll hear me say this social appropriateness, which the media engages in a lot. They back the blue. Even though they try to hide it, make it look like that's not what's going on. If something is going on with the Johnnies and they're quote-unquote getting the bad end of the stick, the media will immediately absorb, like I'm going to use their words, absorb the story like it's true. But if it's a situation where the Johnnies are dead ass wrong, then everything is alleged. And I call it out because I can't stand it. You know what I mean? It's a form of social appropriateness to me. We just go along with the narrative that makes everybody comfortable. And I'm saying all that to say, man, shout out to these investigative journalists, man, and these media platforms who actually do work. And they're not scared to call cops what the hell they are. And that's a lot of what I just seen in this video. So either these people are great actors or they really have a heart for what they do, which is a benefit to the American public. I did not want to get further into this video without saying that. Keep exposing them, man. Keep exposing them. A second point I want to make is I am a man. You know what I mean? I think sometimes I say things that may be offensive to some. That's just me being me. I always invite you guys to speak freely, hopefully respectfully in the comment sections as you are, not socially appropriately. You know what I mean? For all that, man. Be who you are. Speak your opinion. That's how we learn and grow. Sometimes we disagree and we find new perspectives that we need to consider. I'm saying that to say I'm not this Me Too motherfuckers out here. I don't believe every time a woman is crying and screaming somebody did something to her ass, she's telling the truth. I've lived in this world for a long time, and I've seen how women have learned to weaponize that resource and how society as a whole just believes that all a woman got to do is cry and say something, especially if she's blaming a man. That means it automatically happened and he's automatically guilty, in much the same way that people just blindly back the blue. I don't do that shit. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? And her tears and her grief, which may be actual or it may be a performance, are not proof. Where's the proof? That doesn't go for cops. Y'all ass are guilty until proven innocent. It is not just because I'm blind and biased. It's because I also have lived in a world where you have presented yourselves as exactly who the fuck you are. And that is guilty until proven innocent. So if that lady say you did something to her and then the child was involved, your ass did it, Negro. Now, am I saying you're absolutely guilty? No, I'm saying that's how I see your ass until you prove you're absolutely not. Which brings us to this very pertinent question that these journalists are bringing up. How the hell is your ass still a police officer? You bouncing from agency to agency like y'all always do. And moreover, they done hid. They didn't just exonerate your ass. They didn't just throw the shit out. They hid. They say they went to the courthouse and they couldn't find any record of it. If you heard my passion rise in my voice, you heard the damn truth. Your ears ain't lying to you. How does this, I mean, they already asked it, man. How does this happen, fam? Even if you do this diversion stuff, how do you not in a domestic violence case involve the victim to let him or her, because women commit domestic violence too, actually, men and women, how do you not involve the victim to let him or her know what the hell is going on, fam? Because if your ass was innocent, what the hell you doing taking a diversion for? Why don't you go to court and fight for your innocence? Probably because there's a chance that you get, you know what I'm saying? I already told you how I feel about it. And I'm just highlighting all of that to point to the fact that it is systemic, guys. I say this in all of my damn videos. Don't get lost in thinking like, oh, it's just the beat cops, and if we get them in order. No, they really are Gestapo just following orders. The problem is that they do it. They take oaths not to do everything that they eventually end up damn doing. Did I tell y'all the story how I was going to the gym one morning? A brand new cop, I didn't notice till later. She parked right there in front of the damn gym. No parking. I just started policing the gym. Praise God, I ain't even been seeing them right there no more. But a few cops, they'll come and park right in the no parking area, right in front of the gym by the door so they can just jump out, go in, work out, and come. It's just a whole parking lot out here. So she's out there, parked right in front of the gym. I didn't say anything to her. I just policed her, recorded the car, and kept it for my records. Later on, about 4 or 5 of her friends, 3 of them being guys, came up in the gym, one working out. They looking at me. I see them looking. I'm looking back, waiting on them to say something to me. They ain't say nothing, so I went back to working out. Eventually, she came in and tried to talk to me. I refused to talk to her cop ass. I walked right out there to where the men were standing, and I addressed the guy. I said, yo, bro, this your people? He was like, yeah. And then, long story short, she kept trying to talk to me. I kept refusing to talk to her, and me and him ended up having a very respectful and cordial conversation. He's not a cop, and he was like, yo, she was just concerned. She's screaming out. She's not screaming, but that's what I'm black. That's, a bondage. She's screaming, I just want the video erased. The situation never got out of control, and I'm telling cuz she ain't no better than us. That's our car first and foremost, not hers, and her ass ain't supposed to be parking right there. Florida just passed new parking traffic laws, and she immediately breaking them. And the reason that she's doing that is because she's a cop and she think the law don't apply to her ass. Come to find out, she had just signed up. Her ass was still in the probationary period. And I told him just like this. Today she's parking somewhere where it's illegal to park. Tomorrow we're picking one of our dead bodies up, or one of our children or loved ones' dead body up off the street because she didn't think the laws applied to her. And that's what we see in this damn video. If he's at home beating women and kids or women in front of kids, what the fuck you think he gonna do to one of us out here in the streets, man? On top of this is the same state where those 10 inmates said they didn't escape, they were allowed to leave from. On top of this, just this week, they, air quotes, mistakenly released the wrong person. That's their work. So that's the type of law enforcement serving and protecting that they're providing to Louisiana residents. And I just read a comment on one of the other videos before I started this one. This is the type of stuff that is going on all over our nation, and prayers for those in other places globally who deal with much worse. I understand as much as I can. That does not make what goes on over here right. And it's very frustrating that they're hiring criminals, conspiring to hide the fact that they're criminals, and then pushing them to us as heroes that we can trust. You better know your damn rights. You better teach your children to know theirs, and you better encourage your loved ones too. And I said better for a reason this time. These ain't no damn heroes, and they're not friendly. They're violent predators. And I pray God tame their ass before somebody else do. Y'all be good. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.